Hello, hello. Welcome to our musical practice workshop. And the reason why I say the our musical practice workshop is because this is not just a workshop for guitar players or keyboard players. This is a workshop for all musicians and singers. So I have created a new Facebook group just for that, and it is called Musical Practice Workshop. And it's not it's not com- well it's not um, completed. I have not finished it yet, but I'm I'm still working on it. And then this is where you and I we will be able to share our ideas in music, constructive ideas. We can share our you know tricks, stuff like that. I will when when you I will explain the objective of the group, and the rules, everything that you need to know, and then you can join the group if you like, and then we can have some fun together, playing music together. And I have and most of all, this is a public group, so anyone can participate. You know. I also have a private group by the name of Musical Bond. If you wish, you can also join that Facebook group page. So I have two group. I have I have two Facebook group pages. One is private, is the Musical Bond, and the one that I just created is the Musical Practice Workshop. That's public, so you can join either or both of them, and so we can have some good time in playing music together. Uh, do you remember a video that I posted about pentatonic scales, and I demonstrated how you can play the pentatonic scales using pentatonic scale shapes and positions, and I think I used the C major pentatonic scale as an example, um, with the root on the fifth string and third fret, and I play a shape, and I talk about position of the shape. How do you recognize the position of the shape you're using? And I remember saying that the highest note that you play in the shape, it takes the name of the shape you're playing. In other words, of the pentatonic scale, you're playing, whether it is major pentatonic scale or minor pentatonic scale, the highest note in the scale. Then I give you an example. I gave you the example I gave you was position of 6. That in using playing the C major pentatonic scale, because you have 5 notes in the scale. Note number 1, note number 2, note number 3, note number 6, and note number 5. Yeah. Let me repeat that. Note number 1, note number 2, note number 3, note number 5, note number 6. Out of the 7 notes in the key of C major scale or any major scale to play our pentatonic scale. So in the case of C major scale, the 5 notes, the C, D, E, G, A, and that with those notes, you can play position of 6. That means if you have the C is note number 1, the D is note number 2, 3 note number 3, and we skip note number 4. We play 5, which is G, and we play A, which is note number 6. So the way you name the positions is by looking at the highest note you play in the shape, and whatever the highest note is in the shape, that's the name of the shape. That's the name of the pentatonic scale. So we play. The shape that I played was position. The shape that I played was in position of 6, with the note A played with the note A as the highest note, which is this one, right? On the first string. Okay, so if you have not, I don't really want to go back to everything that I already covered on this subject. What you can do, if you want to know what I've done, you can go back. You can go and look for. You can go and look for the YouTube video on this subject, pentatonic scale, and you can have a better overview of what I'm talking about now. So the shape I'm going to play, C major pentatonic scale, is the shape position of 6. The root is on the root C is on 3rd fret, and the 5th string, and I do it this way. I'm going to go slowly so everyone can see and can hear. C, D, E, G, A, and then octave C. Now you can go ahead and play the entire scale by playing G on the 3rd fret, 6th string, and A on the 3rd fret, 6th string, because they are parts of the scale. So you can do that. shape is position of 6 because A, which is the sixth note in the scale, is the highest note, is the highest note played. There's so it is not just the playing the pentatonic scales. You know, it's not a big deal because you only have 5 notes. What I'm trying to stress out, to emphasize, is it's not the notes themselves. Is the shapes, is the pentatonic scale shapes and the positions. Because if you may not remember what scale you're playing, but if you remember the shape, at least you can get by when you are improvising. And also, the positions are very important because you're going to need, when you're playing music, you may need to change positions for different reasons. Because if you're playing a shape way down here, okay, and then you are improvising, and all of a sudden you run out of notes from this shape. Because if you're looking at the musical notation, and then you have notes that are very high on the staff, that means you're gonna run, if you just using this shape, at the lower section of the neck, more than likely you're gonna run out of notes, out of range notes. So you're gonna have to change positions. So you're gonna have to find notes that are higher or lower to play, depending on the situation you find yourself in. So that's why playing in positions, knowing what position you're playing when you're playing pentatonic scale is very important. Also, that and also if you know the position, you also know the name of the shapes. If you know the positions, you know the name of the shapes, because the shapes take the name of the positions, which are the highest notes in the scales. So I'll give you an example. So another thing that is very important, that is very advantageous in playing scale shapes, when you change positions, if you're playing pentatonic scale shapes, the bottom part of the bottom, because a pentatonic scale shape has 2 sections in it. You got the bottom section and the top section, just like in the C major pentatonic scale. So you got notes on the bottom sections, and you have notes on the top section. You have notes on the bottom section and notes on the top section. As a matter of fact, those notes you might be able to use those notes to play chord structure. For example, let me give you an example. When you play You play C major pentatonic scale right here. Okay. So I'm using the third fret and the fifth fret to play this shape. So all the notes on the third fret are parts of the first section. That's the bottom section. And all the notes on the fifth fret are parts of the second. Well, the top are part of the top section of the shape. And you can play chord structure using the notes in each section. For example, the bottom section, I can play this chord. And when you're soloing using pentatonic scale, you can kind of switch back and forth between single notes and those chords, if you like. And also on the top section, which is on the fifth fret, you can also play another chord structure. Okay, so this is one of the main reasons that it's good to know it's good to know pentatonic scale shapes. And also another advantage, which is very important, is that when you switch position from one shape to the next one, closest to it, the top section of the one you're switching from become the bottom section of the one you're switching to. It's just like a puzzle. Those shapes are like some sort of puzzle. The bottom of one, well, the top of one becomes the bottom of the next one close to it, of the next one you're switching to. So I'm going to give you an example about. Let me give you an example about it. For example, you're playing in position of 6. That's what I played earlier, right? Okay. So if I need to play C octave, if I'm reading a musical notation, then I see C octave somewhere in the notation. I know it's not gonna be this C down here or this C that I'm playing. You know, the C that I'm playing using position of 6. That will be too low. So that means the high C, the C octave that I can see, it is in the next position up. Okay, that's this one, which is in the 8th fret. Oh, sorry, which is in the 8th fret. So that means if I cannot play position of 6 any longer because I don't have that C in it. So I need to change position in order to play this C. Okay? Alright. So guess what? I want you to guess something. So if I'm gonna play this C, then that means I'm gonna play in root position. Alright? Because this C. So that's another shape. Now there's a shape now. I'm talking about root position, which is C. That means C is the highest note in the scale shape on the 8th fret, first string. So from position of 6, okay, position of 6. Now I'm playing position of 6, A. That's A on the first on using the first string, 5th fret, and now I'm going to slide my finger to the C on the 8th fret. Now I switch. I just switch. I switch position. Now I'm not playing position of 6 anymore. Now I'm playing position. I'm playing in root position. Okay, position of 1 or 8 octave. So there's a shape attached to it. There's a specific shape attached to this position that you need to remember. Okay, so it's this one here. So remember the bottom, not the bottom. Remember the top part of position 6. The top part of the position 6 in the 5th fret is now the bottom part of position 1. Okay, so you're gonna, all the notes you played before in position 6 on the top section, you're gonna play them again, but they become the bottom part of position, of root position. Got it? That's root position. Position of 6, root, position of 6. Now let's play position. Let's play position of 6, C major pentatonic scale. Now let's move to position. Let's move to root position. Now when you move to root position, you're playing between 5th fret and 8th fret. Okay, that's your spin. That's your range. Okay, to play root position. Okay, and you have root right here. You have the root on the 6th strings, on the 6th string, 8th fret, and you also have the root on the 1st string, 8th fret. So you can start on the 8th fret. So okay. Now move. We go to 8th fret, root on the 6th string. Now if you want to play the relative minor, which is A minor pentatonic scale, you just have to lower. You just have to go to just from the root of the major pentatonic scale. You count 3 fret down, and then you end up on A. And then now you have minor, A minor pentatonic scale, which is the relative minor of C. That means, like I told you before, using one shape, you can play two pentatonic scales, the major pentatonic scale and each relative minor pentatonic scale. All you need to do is from the root of the major pentatonic scale, you go down a minor third, which is 3 fret down, and then you have the minor pentatonic scale. See it? Same thing here. Okay. So that's it for now, and we will. I hope you enjoy that session of musical practice workshop, and then don't forget to go to the group, to the musical practice workshop Facebook group. Join, and then we can do music together. Take care.